We got entry music too, but nobody's actually playing. Just speakers. We're at the beach. Hopefully you'll be jealous. Yeah, hopefully you'll be jealous because you live somewhere cold where you're snowed in, there's ice, trees are falling over. Here it's 70 degrees. We're wearing a Bitcoin t-shirt, even though today we bought silver. So just doing a walk and talk stream today. So we can show you about this nice place here in California where things are nice. And we can talk to you guys in the chat. Not me, you're snowed in. Yeah, here you go. I'll show you around. We're on the pier right now. Let's see. So this is the Snow Beach Pier right here. And the ocean is behind us. The sun is going to be setting. Bought some silver today. Diameter, it's 30 degrees in Australia, 30 degrees Celsius, yes. I've been watching the Australian Open. Good, you're jealous, that's good. Yes, we're here to make you jealous of our weather. California has, we pay a beautiful tax, a tax for how nice it is here. There's the ocean. Do you want to walk down the pier? We can walk down the pier first. Pismo Beach, that's right. I put the sign up on the, oh, there's a nice bird. Oops, we don't need to dox people. Yeah, I had to come here to buy silver today. So now silver is free to dump. I will show you in my Discord chat, somebody said they've never bought physical metals before. So by the end of this stream, I will show you what it looks like to buy silver bullion from the American government. And I'm here to answer questions. Thanks for giving me the update, Parker. Yes, silver is at 117. I bought it for 120. American Eagles for 120, which is a great deal. Right now, but I wouldn't be able to sell it if I wanted to. So it's not worth anything right now. That's a warning. So we can talk about the dynamics of precious metals markets, especially silver, which I found out last year when I sold all my silver. And now I'm buying back for 4 times the price, which is actually crazy. And I was going to turn my car around several times, but I decided to do it anyway. Here, we can walk out here. Here they sell some kind of good tacos. Maybe I'll walk down the beach, but they don't allow dogs out here. And then people are fishing at the end of the pier. So how many people have silver? Okay, good. That's a good question. How and where do you buy your silver? There are at coin shops. There are a few around. You should have one in your local neighborhood, depending on where you live. You start close and then fan your way out. I had to drive an hour to buy what I wanted to buy. First, I checked my local dealer, which is right next to the coffee shop where I have my coffee every day. And yes, you can support the show by going to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. So I went to my local shop first, asked for silver American Eagles, silver Eagles for short. Gold, at least in America and most places around the world, the most desirable form of money is American money. So it's because it's backed by the United States government. It's the most identifiable, even though it's not the best as far as gold goes. I think as far as silver goes, I don't know if it's 0.999 or 0.9999. Somebody smart like Tom Manley who says you've been stacking since 2011. Yeah, me too. But I made the mistake of selling all of it last year to pay my debts, which I accrued when I was insane. So it's a lesson in there. Never go insane. Um, I lost a tube of American Eagles that I put in a hotel room safe and then went crazy and got kicked out of the hotel and they pretended like it wasn't in there. So I lost over $2,000 worth of silver. Now it's worth just that day because of that behavior. So I learned my lesson, hopefully forever. But anyway, right now, if you buy silver, you can't sell it. Or actually, I asked the guys if they would buy back what I just bought from them. And he basically told me no. He was like, no, you want to hold on to it for a while. I was like, okay. So right now, the dynamics of the metals market is, at least with silver, maybe not with gold. But with silver, when the price goes up a lot, then everybody rushes in to sell everything they have. Is it a little too windy? So um, it's a weird investment to buy physical silver, which is why sometimes buying SLV or PSLV like stocks, ETFs, isn't a bad idea because at least you can sell it and you don't get hit on the price. Because either you can't sell it at all, which is the case, or you can't sell as much as you want to sell, which was the case I ran into last year. The same shop I went to today, I had $6,000 or $7,000 worth of silver. Well, it should have been worth a lot more than that actually, but that's what they paid for it. And this shop that I bought it from now would only buy $1,200 worth. So I had to go really far to find somebody who would buy everything I have. I had junk silver, which is old American coins, pre 1965, dimes, quarters, and half dollars. They call that junk silver. It's also good. It's also pretty liquid. You can buy it for, I think they're having a sale on JM Bullion right now where you can literally buy it for spot, either that or for $2 over spot. So the dynamics of the market are weird. Like I said, the price goes up, which means that demand is up, but actually demand is down because everyone is selling. And then when the price goes down, sometimes everybody wants to buy, and then the premiums go up and you have to pay way over spot when the price goes down, which is what happened during COVID. During COVID, the price crashed to $12, but everybody was trying to buy it, so premiums skyrocketed. And then when the price goes up, premiums go down. So I paid a very small premium and I was able to get what I wanted today. And that was the difference, is normally I can't even find silver eagles at local coin stores because they don't have them, because they're sold out and people hold on to those. But now, since the price has gone up so much, it's convinced pretty much everybody who's a person to sell. So the dealers have great inventory. They have Morgan silver dollars are great. Peace dollars are fine. Even 40% silver half dollars are okay. But the best is silver American Eagles. And then otherwise you can get other sovereign coins, which would be like Canadian maple leafs, South African Krugerrands are also silver, not just gold, I think. You can get Australian kangaroos. I think they're kangaroos, unless that's just gold. You can get Chinese pandas. I think they're pandas even when they're silver. And those are all good, but they're not as desirable as American Eagles. So American Eagles are the most desirable. That's all I'm ever going to buy. I got them for a really good premium over spot, only $3 over spot. If you want, and I had to pay no sales tax, which you could want to do if you can. In California, you have to buy at least $2,000 worth and pay cash, and then you don't have to pay sales tax. So I had no sales tax, very low premium. If I wanted to buy it online right now, I'd have to pay $133 at least, last I checked. And I think I'd have to pay tax on top of it. So what is it good for? I got it for insurance, basically. And then when you sell it, it's totally off the books. So it's better than Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. I learned, because cryptocurrency is completely trackable. This is one way it's better than cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is amazing. No one wants it anymore. I sold all of mine. I'm wearing my Bitcoin shirt to buy silver. I sold all my Bitcoin for gold, or virtual gold. Not real gold, which I've talked about a little bit, but tokenized gold. I wanted to have something physical because you can buy it and sell it off the books. You can buy it and sell it off the books. So as long as you sell less than $10,000 worth. The problem with gold is it's going to be worth more than $10,000 an ounce pretty soon. And buying fractional gold, you have to pay an even bigger premium. So physical gold is difficult to deal with. Oh yeah, from England, they're called Britannias. That's right. I got Katie some of those before. They say Nathan on them too, the Britannias. Is it too windy? You guys tell me it's too windy. It probably is. I'm at the beach. Just giving you guys the view. This is the Pismo Beach Pier. I think they rebuilt it recently. It's very nice. Landmark. They do fireworks here for 4th of July. This is Pismo. This is California. I'll walk you through town too. I hope this is helpful information. Nobody told me it's too windy. That's surprising. Hopefully, maybe these AirPods are really good. As soon as somebody tells me it's too windy, I'm not turning it on. Why do I think gold will be 10,000 about what platform? Okay, there. Let me answer a few things. Imagine that said in the U.S., you generally cannot sell gold and silver for a profit without being legally required to pay capital gains taxes, as IRS treats them as taxable collectibles. Exactly. That's true if the IRS knows about it, obviously. But if you are dealing with cash and it's less than $10,000 at a time, they don't report it to anybody. So it's really between you and God. And so, yes, you're legally required to pay taxes, and they're quite high on gold and silver. Even if you buy them as a stock, even if you buy an ETF, and even if you buy crypto gold, which I have, you have to be treated as a collectible, which is ridiculous because it's money. They treat it as a collectible, even if it's PAX-G, which is crypto gold, and you can pay up to Oh, wind is bad. Okay. All right, I'll turn it on. Can you hear me better now? Now the wind is at my back. I told you guys it was windy. Now can you hear me? Okay. Sorry. Now the wind is at my back, so it helps. We'll just walk through town, and then I'll show you what I got. Tax. Yes. One of the problems with buying gold and silver is that the tax is very high because they call it a collectible. It would be like selling Pokemon cards, I guess, which is really ridiculous treatment by the government because it's actually money and they should treat it, it should actually have no tax. It should just be like trading money for money. It's even worse than you would pay on Bitcoin. On Bitcoin, if you hold it over a year, you pay long-term capital gains tax, and I think it's 10 or 15%, depending on your tax bracket, I think. And you used to be able to kind of get around it by dealing with off-exchange wallets like Exodus. You can trade crypto on there, and it's not attached to your identity. But starting this year, centralized exchanges are forced to report your outside wallet addresses to the IRS if you transfer onto or off of their platform. So most likely the IRS is about to go backwards in time and retroactively tax people who thought they were getting away tax-free by having wallets which were not connected to their identity, like I have, and trading crypto thinking that they could get away with it because while it's not attached to your identity, you would have to self-report to the IRS. Otherwise, there's no way they would know about it. Starting in 2026, though, they will know about it. Once they know about it, they have your entire history. So they'll probably go backwards in time and tax you forever. So a lot of crypto people are probably fucked because when you transfer off of an exchange, you have to say for tax purposes what you did with the money. If you transfer to yourself off of a centralized exchange, there is no tax impact because you're just transferring to yourself. If you transfer it to someone else, then there is a tax impact because they look at that as a transaction and it's like you sold. So you have to say you transferred it to yourself. But now starting in 2026, as soon as you say that, then they know your wallet address. And then the next thing you do with it is reported. So they're going to declare that a tax event and fuck you with no Vaseline, as they say. So I think that's what's about to happen to crypto people, including myself, probably. So it's going to be problematic. That's why I like Monero now. As far as cryptocurrency goes, I think the only one I'm interested in is Monero because it's private and they can't track it. As far as silver goes, as far as silver and gold goes, as far as taxes, if you're not an honest person, like I said, you can do transactions with silver and gold in cash. You can do it without paying sales tax in many places. In California, there's a minimum purchase requirement, which I just did. I didn't pay sales tax and there's no record. When I go to sell, as long as I sell less than $10,000 worth, there will also be no record. Nobody knows, besides the fact that I just told you guys, there would otherwise be no record that I just bought silver. No record at all. besides the fact that I just doxed myself. But it doesn't matter because that's not a taxable event. The only taxable event would be when I sell if the price goes up. And once again, as long as that transaction is less than $10,000 at a time, even if the price went up to $1,000 a coin, it's not reported to the government. Any cash transaction you do in the United States of America over $10,000, anytime you exchange over $10,000 in cash, it's reported to the government because of anti-money laundering rules, AML. So why do I think gold is going to 10,000? I think that was your question. Is that it's going to be money again, I think, basically. Ron Paul just said 20,000. I think 20,000. I mean, it doesn't matter. If the dollar's collapsing, then it doesn't matter what the price is. It could go to 50,000. So I saw somebody say it could be set at 70,000 an ounce for gold. If gold is becoming money again and the dollar is going to die, which is why I bought physical silver today, just in case, then there's no limit as to how high it can go. But I think 10,000 is certainly possible. So Sim Photoful says, but the IRS wants to know. Yes, theoretically, you're supposed to tell them everything. Yeah. You're supposed to tell them. I'm just telling you, they would have no way of finding out. It's a confession. That's all. Just like Peter Schiff says, it's a confession at that point. You know, they would have no way to find out unless you're on unless you're like me and you're on a podcast or something. But yes, you need to pay your taxes. I advise you pay your taxes. It's up to 28% capital gains tax on silver and gold. So it's very high. Sean says, so holding cash is horrible now? No, not really. I was holding on to cash specifically because if we have a credit event, which is what the people are predicting, if we have a credit event, then silver and gold will crash along with everything else. And so having cash isn't bad at all, necessarily. Everybody thinks having cash is bad, and nobody has cash right now. It's the lowest. Everybody has the least amount of savings they've ever had. Investors have the least amount of cash on the sidelines they've ever had. Everybody's fully maxed out on credit. So if you want to do something different than the herd, then you actually want to have cash, because everybody assumes right now that having cash is worthless. That's why stocks are the highest they've ever been. That's why gold is so high. That's why silver is so high. Copper even went crazy today. It's called the debasement trade, which is why people bought Bitcoin for so many years. But for some reason, people don't like Bitcoin anymore. It's called the debasement trade. It has to do with the dollar going down in value. And when the dollar goes down in value, then everything seems like it goes up in price. But there are some indications that things might go down in price. Well, especially real estate right now. That's the first market that looks like it's going to crack, is real estate. But I think stocks. I have insurance that stocks are going to crash too. So. Sean, traditionally going to war, stocks go down and gold goes down? No, actually, that's one of the reasons I got silver today too. War makes gold go up. War makes gold go up, all things being equal, because people look for safety. So war makes gold and silver go up. I've heard that our bombs use a ton of silver. I've heard that our bombs use a ton of silver. Oh, I'm going to take you on a tour of this town. It's like stuck in the 50s. This is Pismo Beach. I'll take you on a tour. No, anyway, war makes gold go up. That's one of the reasons gold's been going up is because we're threatening war with Iran right now. It looks like we really might do it. And anyway, the reason still okay, all right. So going back in time, the reason silver is going up is not because people are buying physical silver in the United States, at least. The United States, people aren't buying silver, they're selling silver. In China, people are buying silver like crazy and they're paying $150 an ounce for it already, apparently. So it's different cultures have different values. In America, we don't value gold and silver the same as they do in India and China and in the East, where they know that you buy gold for an insurance policy for when things go bad or your government starts fucking things up. That's why in India, wedding gifts are all in gold. They do jewelry for whatever reason, but in India, they hoard gold all the time. And for wedding gifts, they give them all in gold jewelry usually. And other cultures have learned to do that because in a crisis of any kind, gold saves you. It's like I said, it's like an insurance policy against a stupid government or war or anything else. So, but in a credit event, which is what I'm concerned about primarily, which was why I'm short banks right now. Then everybody sells everything, especially things that have gone up, and then they'll also sell silver and gold, and silver and gold will crash. So, which is maybe going to happen. So having cash isn't bad, but having a little physical gold or silver, or even virtual gold or silver, isn't bad either. You kind of want to do both, probably. Thoughts of the Japan bond market, its effect on ours? Yeah, I've talked about that a lot. Um, that's another thing that might crash the economy is the Japan carry trade. So I can explain that again. Japan has more debt than any country in the world, way worse than us, as a percentage of their GDP. And somehow they managed to keep their interest rates at zero forever, or negative actually, for a long time. So they were borrowing money at 0% interest. And so they were printing Japanese bonds, which people would. Um, so basically, people were borrowing money in Japanese yen for free, converting it into dollars or other currencies and buying stocks, American bonds, and real estate or whatever, anything that had a positive yield. So this is what was happening for the last 20 years or so. Is people have been borrowing money in Japanese yen at 0% interest, buying, to a large extent, American treasuries, which paid more than 0%, and the currency was good. They would take the yield in American dollars for however long, make money, make profit, and then buy back the Japanese debt. So they would take debt in yen, convert it into American dollars, get a yield on it, get a positive yield on it, and then pay off the debt in Japanese yen for free. So that was happening for years and years and years and years and years and years. It's called the Japan carry trade. As long as the Japanese yen didn't strengthen too much, the trade worked. As long as the Japanese yen didn't strengthen too much and their interest rates didn't get too high, that was a good trade and it worked for like 20 years. But all of a sudden, they had to pay the piper, and interest rates are suddenly rising at a super fast rate in Japan. And the currency was actually weakening, but now it's strengthening. The currency strengthening and the yields being high ends the Japanese carry trade, their currency weakening makes them sell US dollars, treasuries, to buy Japanese treasuries to strengthen their currency. So, and that weakens the US dollar. So that's in the middle of what's happening right now is we were concerned the Japanese yen was getting too weak. So we're intentionally weakening the dollar against the Japanese yen. And it could cause a cascade effect, basically. So where we're at right now is that mostly other countries, Japan is the largest single country holding US debt. If their bond market blows up, which it looks like it might, then they'll start selling our treasuries, which will weaken our dollar and make our interest rates skyrocket and crash our economy. So that's basically what we're at risk of right now, is that Japan basically blows up. So, and also we pissed off Europe. Europe has $4 trillion in treasuries, and the IMF just prepared and they have trillions of dollars of stocks too. Other countries don't have to go to war with us to destroy us. This is one of the problems with being so arrogant as a country, because we have this great military, is our military is great and we can probably win most wars, but other countries like China and Europe don't have to fight us to destroy us. They can just sell our stuff. And it destroys our economy. It'll just crash our economy. Interest rates will go to the moon, which means that everything will crash. Real estate, obviously, if interest rates go up, which is what happens when you sell treasuries. So the way the treasury market works is that interest rates depend on whether people are buying or selling. So when people want to buy your debt, interest rates go down. Like when your debt is good, you don't have to pay as much interest on it. Like when you're a secure investment, when the United States is doing good, then we don't have to pay such high interest rates on our debt because people know that we're good for it and our currency is good, which are both important. If people think America is doing bad and that we're printing too much money or going into too much debt, then our debt isn't as good and we have to pay a higher interest rate on it. So when people sell our bonds, the value of them goes down and the interest rate goes up. That's how the bond market works. So we don't want people selling our treasuries, which China can do at any time. Saudi Arabia could probably do it. Almost anybody can attack us financially at any time just by selling all the treasuries they hold. We rely on other countries for our profligacy. So this is the situation I'm trying to protect myself against. It could mean the dollar goes to zero. It could mean the dollar goes to zero. And then we have hyperinflation. It could mean our interest rates skyrocket and we have deflation. We might actually have deflation because we have an economic collapse of some sort, which would then be offset by printing money because the Fed doesn't want deflation more than anything. So eventually the dollar goes to zero. That's all. Eventually the dollar goes to zero, no matter what happens. No matter what happens, the dollar goes to zero eventually, which means that things that are globally denominated, like gold, which people buy everywhere in whatever their currency is, will go up, have to go up in value compared to dollars. Other things, though, eggs, gasoline, well, oil actually is starting to go up again now because the dollar is going down. It's all, anyway, it's all very complicated. Three bubbles to burst: silver, gold, and debt. Well, you can say gold and silver are a bubble, but where else are people going to put their money? Right now, they've been buying stocks also. But actually, the stock market measured in gold is currently crashing. It has been for a little while. It's only measured in dollars that it's high. You can also measure against the Swiss franc. Apparently, they protect their currency in Switzerland, and also they have a lot of gold. So the Swiss franc is super strong right now. It's the strongest it's ever been against the dollar, I guess. AI bubble, yeah, the AI bubble is fucked too. Although the government might try to save it, OpenAI has OpenAI in particular. A lot of analysts have shown that they're never going to be able to make enough money to pay their debts. And they just announced that a bunch of companies are about to invest more money into them. It's insane. They have no um, they have no business plan to make as much money as they have to justify the amount of expense they want to pay. They want to pay $1.4 trillion for data centers, but nobody's paying for their product. Most of the people who use their product use it for free. So they're spending money. Every user, they're losing money on every paid user because mostly they're doing work for free with data centers. Most people use ChatGPT for free, just like I use Gemini. I use pretty much the good version of Gemini as much as I have to. It's totally free, but Google makes money doing other things. OpenAI doesn't. And and everybody's revenue depends on OpenAI and all the money they promised. Apparently, Meta, all these companies like Oracle. Oracle, for example, is a company that's in really big trouble. Larry Ellison's company, Oracle, is in really big trouble. Their credit default swap rates are super high right now because people think they're going to go bankrupt. They depend on OpenAI actually coming through on the debt that on the spend that they want to do. But OpenAI has to do something like, you know, 10x their earnings, and they have no plan to do it. Anthropic, everybody uses Anthropic for business. They use Claude for business, and they use Gemini now more and more, or sometimes Grok. Grok, they don't use much. Mostly Gemini for chatting too. So Gina says Trump said he could destroy the housing market. Yeah. Trump today in his business meeting, he said he's insane. Trump is insane. Don't forget that he's actually insane. He has he tweeted something today about how interest rates should go down. When the dollar goes down, you don't want to lower interest rates. The dollar going down is the same as interest rates going down. So to counterbalance the dollar going down, you want to raise interest rates because the dollar going down causes inflation, right? So because you have to pay more for foreign goods, and most of the stuff we get is still foreign. So, but yeah, Trump today said, first of all, that Jerome Powell is an idiot, which I don't know, maybe, who knows? Central banks are terrible. But he also said that he doesn't want housing prices to come down because he wants people to feel rich. He was like, no, I want housing prices to go up. But he wants to make it more affordable by making interest rates go down. But no matter what they do to interest rates, that's not going to change the 10-year and the 30-year, which is what mortgage rates are set on. So there's no way housing is going to come down. He can't control it. But he says he doesn't even want it to come down, which is really a slap in the face to Generation Z and millennials who can't afford, who could never afford housing at the price it's at right now, even if interest rates came down 2%, let's say. Let's say interest rates came down 2%. Housing is still completely unaffordable to young people. Well, and me too, but to young people who have jobs where they make 100 grand. Let's say they make 100 grand. You still can't buy property in coastal areas. You have to make in California cities, you have to make at least $250,000 a year to afford a house, an average house, which is $1 million. So um, housing prices are going to come down. It might not cause a crisis because people have tons of equity right now in their houses, but all right, you want to see you want to see this town? I'll take you on a tour. I'll take you on a tour of Pismo Beach. So this is Pismo Beach, California. We are located in something called the Central Coast, which is halfway between Los Angeles and San Francisco on the coast. This is a town that people come to from the Central Valley mostly. And on their way, they stop here on their way from LA to San Francisco or vice versa. They stop here and they charge their Teslas or whatever. So this is the beach town that people come to, Pismo Beach. And I'll show you what it's like. It's kind of like a 1950s vibe. Here, I'll show you. So let's see. This is pretty much all of it. So this place is new, Taqueria El Guero. We have a bowling alley still. We can take a tour. Bigfoot Crush, SpongeBob. Oh yeah. Hey, how's it going? I think that was a strike. Only got 8 lanes. That was a strike, right? So we got a strike. I'll show you the rest. Oh yeah. And then here's like this is old fashioned stuff. Like there's an arcade here, a family entertainment center. I mean, this is kind of old school stuff. No, I haven't been here my whole life. I've only lived here since 2016. They sell all these t-shirts, which I assume are copyrighted somehow. The truffle shuffle. I don't roll on Shabbos. Life is like a box of chocolates. I think, isn't it supposed to be life was? Isn't that a Mandela effect? Isn't that a Mandela effect? 805. That's the area code. 805 beer is from here. Oh yeah. Cool. Could the music strike down my streams? Yeah, probably. That's all right. We'll take the risk. We don't care. Do I swim in the ocean? No, I used to. It's cold. It's cold on the West Coast. Let me see. What else can I show you? I'll show you the other 50s vibe stuff. I'll show you what's like well known. There's the bar. I think it's called Harry's, where people do line dancing and stuff. Yeah, it's chill. Um, See, we have like this is called the Cool Cat Cafe. It's kind of like 50s. This is Harry's Bar. And then this place is famous, at least around here, Splash Cafe. So you see the vibe, right? It's like super 50s. Splash Cafe, you get your clam chowder here in a bread bowl. I'll show you. So that's the vibe. Brad's Fish and Chips. Average rent is in town. It's probably like at least like 2,000 for one person for a one bedroom or something or a studio in town in San Luis Obispo, which is the town. It's going to cost you like at least 2,100 or something for a studio apartment for a nice one. So I just rent a room though, way out of town. I live in Cambria, which is another beach town where nobody lives. It's all old people. It's like a tourist town. All right, so there's the tour. And I'll show you silver because Pirate Justin wanted to see the silver. So I'll show you guys what the silver looks like. We'll walk back to my vehicle. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Hopefully today was a good stream. At least I did something. Yeah, summer it gets pretty packed. Hey, thanks guys. You guys are cool too. I haven't done a walk and talk stream for a long time. So I bought silver. What's the price? Anybody want to tell me what the price is now? Hopefully it's gone up. I think they're going to run out of physical silver. That's the last. That's what the insurance is for. If the exchanges run out of physical silver, then instead of everybody selling silver, everybody's going to want to buy physical silver. So even though the price might go down 50%, which it really might, I still bought some today. So was it 119 or 117? People say 118. Everybody's saying something different. So for you, pirate, you wanted to see what it looks like. So I'll show you what it looks like. Walking to my vehicle. I'll show you my Beanie Baby. That's my Beanie Baby in my car. I bought a car when I was insane, or I leased it actually, which was kind of stupid, but it's kind of a nice car. Oh, okay. Here, I'll show you guys. Okay, so I got for Katie, we got this, which is this is a silk. Let's see if we can get good lighting on it. Let me take off my glasses. so I can see better. So this isn't like a normal wrapper. This is from some kind of company. That's a 2004. It's a beautiful design. And everything has like a special meaning. How many stars and like what the eagle is carrying in each hand and stuff. So I got that. And then I got one. This is called the proof coin, which actually should cost more, but I got it for the same price. The proof is mirrored. So if you want one of these from the US government right now, you would have to pay, God, from the usmint.gov website, I think these are like $200 right now, or $180 or something. So this is the proof coin, which has a mirrored finish. But I got it for the same price. So that's good. Yeah, see, they're really nice. And then that W there means it was minted at West Point. So we have a number of mints in the country. We have a mint in Denver. We have one in San Francisco. We used to have one near the silver mines in Nevada at I forget what it's called. If you get Morgan dollars, when you're collecting coins, when they're from different mints, why am I keeping these in my car? Well, it's safe around here. And then this is how you buy them in bulk. They come in tubes like this. So these hold 20 coins. So this is what it looks like. So these come from the US government, Treasury, United States Mint. And then you have 20 of these inside. I think I got 2016s or something. This year, 2026, is a special 40th anniversary year. So anyway, that's how they come. So nobody rob me, please. See, the problem with having physical is then you have to insure it and stuff. So I wouldn't want to have more than that, really, because then people will rob you. How much did I spend? I got them for $120 each. So I got them for $120 each, which is crazy because I sold them I sold a bunch of those last spring for about $33 each. So, and I think I really think they might crash. I mean, like I said, I almost turned around several times. They really might crash, but and I can't sell them. And now I can't sell them if I wanted to. At least at this coin store, maybe not anywhere. So, or at least not for close to what I bought them for. All right, Gina, good seeing you. So anyway, that's our silver tutorial for today. So yeah, if you want to buy silver, those are the best things to buy. That's all. They're the most liquid. People want them the most all over the world. Gold's at 54.76. Oh, good. Thanks, Rocky. Good. Yeah, everything crashed today. Everything crashed today. Here, we can drive back too. But I'm not supposed to read the chat at the same time. Oops. I think it's connecting to my car, actually. Can you still hear me? You like that proof coin, not me? Yeah, I got it. I didn't even have to pay extra for it. So I better plug this in. We can drive back. When do you think we can start selling our silver? I don't know. Right now, you can't sell it anywhere. The market will have to stabilize somehow. I have no idea. I mean, you might be able to find someplace to buy it. I think they're still buying some, but yeah, I don't know. Ooh, a cop just rolled by. Okay, we're gonna go back to slow. You guys want to? I wonder how this will be. Let's see. Oops. No, you can't see. Oh yeah, you could if. Oh, orientation is locked, so you have to look at me. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so what I'm trying to prepare for, the reason I bought it today and didn't wait for it to crash, even though everybody else is selling and now I can't sell it, and it might go down 50%, is that if there are lots of rumors about the COMEX exchange, which is where they trade paper silver futures, and the rumors are that their supply of physical silver is going down. I heard somebody talking about backwardation, if you know what that is. So people are paying extra to take physical delivery of silver rather than normally rich people don't hold their own gold, because the problem with gold and silver is you have to store it and insure it in case somebody steals it. It's not going to be covered under your regular homeowner's policy if you have a lot of silver at home. So that's why I don't really love physical, because it's hard to sell and not always easy to buy, and because you have to take a risk just owning it, that somebody's going to break into your house and steal it. Even if you have renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance, they probably won't cover it, especially if you have, any significant amount. You have to declare it and pay extra insurance for it. Or you can keep it in a safety deposit box, which you have to pay for. And then there's still counterparty risk, because I guess the bank theoretically could not let you pick up your stuff. I think I get on. I have to figure out how to get home. I think I can get on here. I'm going to try to get on here. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Search. Oh, they're going to take me this way? Okay, that's fine. I'll go this way. What was I saying? Hopefully the phone will work through here. You have to pay. So most people who own gold don't actually hold it in their house. If you do, you're taking a risk. Some people bury it in their backyard. That's what Tucker Carlson says he does. Tucker Carlson says he has his gold and silver buried in his yard along with ball bearings all over the place, so that if someone came with a metal detector, they wouldn't be able to find it. So that's one strategy. Otherwise, like I said, if you want to insure it, you have to declare it on your insurance specially and pay extra for it. As far as the kind of gold I own, people say to have physical. I have tokenized gold, which is becoming more and more popular. It's a cryptocurrency on the Ethereum blockchain called PAX-G. It allows you to buy fractional amounts of gold without paying over spot. It trades for spot. It's an actual receipt on actual physical gold in a vault, and it's audited, and you can actually put in your Ethereum Theoretically, I haven't done it, but you can actually put in your wallet address on their website. It's operated by something called Paxos. Oh, I'm gonna lose. I might lose service. I'm still live. It's operated on something called Paxos, and you can actually go to their website, put in your Ethereum address, and they'll show you a serial number for the gold you own. And if you own enough, you can literally trade it for physical gold. But you'd have to own a lot, because I think it's like 1 kilo bars or something like that. So they won't give you an ounce of gold. So if you have an ounce, they're not going to give you an ounce of gold. It's not redeemable, but it is redeemable at certain volumes. I think it's probably kilo bars or something, some kind of large bars. But it is theoretically audited. And so it's the same as if you're a rich person paying somebody else to store your gold. Basically, is Paxos Gold, PaxG, on the Ethereum blockchain. So that's how I own all my gold. I sold all my Bitcoin, and now I have cash, synthetic gold, and now I have some physical silver, and I have some SLV on the stock market too. So, and then I have put options on regional banks right now. That's the thing I have for downside insurance. So, because I think the regional banks are not too big to fail. So if there's a credit event and banks go under, then regional banks are not too big to fail. So theoretically, they could go under. So I'm short those. Didn't cost that much. On that through May. So we'll see what happens. If they don't pay off, that's fine, because if the banks don't fail, then gold and silver will probably keep pumping. So either way, it should be good. But I don't know. I'd like to short more things, to be honest. All right, I can't read the chat without crashing, probably. I'd like to show you guys what I'm looking at. Here, I can show you. This is what it looks like. So you see the mountains and stuff? It's beautiful here. This is why people like California. See, we have mountains. I think probably I'd get pulled over because I'm holding my phone. But yeah, I could probably get pulled over. There's like vineyards and stuff. Here's a vineyard. Let's see. We're taking the back way home. It's like summer. It's pretty much the same weather all the time, pretty much. It is 73 degrees, my car says right now. And it's pretty much like this every single day. 365 days a year. Never gets too hot. Well, sometimes where I'm going in San Luis Obispo, it gets a little warmer, but by the ocean, it never gets hot, never gets cold. Where I live, it's pretty much like 60s, 70 every day, even in the summer. Nobody has air conditioning. You rarely have to turn the heat on. I like good weather, so I like this part of California. All right, I think that's everything. So yeah, I was talking about silver running out. So the thing about physical silver is the price is determined by paper markets, where they normally don't ever ask for the silver that they're betting on. Where paper markets, where people just bet on the future price of silver. Normally they settle in cash. They don't demand the physical silver. Now people are demanding the physical silver, and the inventory in the exchanges are going down very rapidly. Apparently there's some people say there's something like 1 ounce of real silver for every 300 and some ounces of paper silver, so that if everybody asked to take delivery of their silver does not exist. In March is the next time future contracts are up, and normally people get paid in cash and just roll over into the next time period. If people decide, instead of getting paid in cash, that they want to take physical delivery of silver because they're actually worried silver is running out, and the exchange runs out of physical silver to deliver, they actually have a term for it. They'll declare something called force majeure, which means that they'll settle all contracts in cash and not deliver any silver. If that happens, then the paper price of silver becomes meaningless, and the only thing that matters is whether you have physical silver or not. And then the price needs to be completely recalibrate, and that's the kind of event that the price could just go like this. So that's what I'm just want to be prepared for, just in case. But so that's what people are concerned will happen, is force majeure, basically a default on silver contracts, because there isn't enough silver in the world to go around. That's all. Apparently it's a lot more scarce than gold. You wouldn't know it now that every coin shop is going to have tons of silver for you to buy, but apparently it's a lot more scarce than gold because it doesn't get recycled. To a large extent, and it also is very difficult to find new silver. We might just run out, basically. Like, there are no silver mines at all. Silver is a byproduct of mining copper and other things. Actually, if you want a really good deal, everybody says copper is going to be the next silver, and copper was up 5% today. If you want to invest in physical copper, then you should buy United States nickels, because they're currently worth 50% more than face value in metal content. And the government will have to eventually discontinue or hypothecate or whatever. They'll have to reformulate the metal content in nickels, just like they just discontinued the penny, because it's more expensive to make than 1 cent. Just because it's worth more than 1 cent, it costs them more than 1 cent to make it, so it just doesn't make sense. A nickel currently costs the government something like 14 cents. Every single nickel costs the government 14 cents to mint and distribute right now. A $2 roll of nickels is worth $3. Nickels are 75% copper and 25% nickel, both of which are also pumping. So they're going up rapidly in value. I calculated the melt value of a nickel. You're not allowed to, legally you can't melt US coins, but as soon as and no one will pay you more than a nickel. So I'm not telling you can't buy a nickel and sell it for more than a nickel, because someone would have to be insane to give you that. because you can buy a nickel for 5 cents now. But eventually the government will stop making nickels with that metal content, the same way they did with the penny. Changed metal content in 1982. The penny before 1982 was 95% copper. After 1982, they're 95% zinc, I believe, and they still discontinued it because of debasement, because the currency is becoming worthless. But right now, if you want an asymmetric bet, like if you want to invest in copper and nickel at the same time, but mostly copper people are talking about, the copper supply demand is the same as silver. More of it is needed for industrial demand. It's used in electricity the same way silver is the best conductor in the world. Elementally, it's the best conductor on earth, so it has to be used for high-tech industries where they need very efficient conduction of electricity, like in solar panels. But after that, people use copper, and that's what's mostly in our transmission lines now. And copper is also needed for the future, and there's a lot more of it needed than is currently being dug out of the ground or recycled. So the price of copper is also an asymmetric bet. People are predicting it's going to do the same thing silver did. So if you want to invest in physical copper, then you should just buy U.S. nickels, which you're buying at a discount. As soon as they discontinue the coin, then it will disappear from circulation. People will start keeping them instead of spending them, the same way they did when they changed from silver money. Good money pushes out bad money, or bad money pushes out good money. I don't know how the saying goes, but as soon as they discontinue the nickel, then people will start hoarding them, and then you'll be able to sell them for more than 5 cents. So even though I guess you're not technically allowed to melt them, you'll still be able to sell them on the open market for more than 5 cents, which currently is 7.5 cents melt value in a nickel. And so eventually they'll have to stop minting them. They'll have to change the composition. So save your nickels. Save your nickels, save your pennies. They'll be worth more than face value. Anything else? That's about it. I can check into the chat in a second. I'm almost to my destination. Oh, I'll go by the pickleball courts. But people aren't playing pickleball this time of day. Soon we'll be replaced by AI. The guy from Anthropic wrote a long thing about it. He says we're 1 to 2 years away. So, in which case everything's going to be communist after that, apparently. You'll have to rely on payments from the government. So, apparently we'll all be replaced in 1 to 2 years. AI will be better than us at everything. And he talks about how like every data center will be like a whole country full of geniuses. They'll have like AI with different personalities and stuff talking to each other. They'll all be the equivalent of Nobel Prize winners, and they're going to make all the decisions, and everything will be worthless probably. So that's what we have to look forward to. Bmar Busker, you have lots of pennies and nickels. Good. Save them. But they're heavy. I guess they come in boxes of $100 or something. So, but banks won't even sell you $100 in nickels, I hear. But that's a bet. That's something you can buy. And they're very heavy. Windhammer says people realize if you don't have it in your hand, you don't own it. Yeah, we'll see. That's what people say. That's why I bought silver today. So, all right, good talking to you people. A few people tuned in. It's a smaller stream than usual, but that's fine because it was off the rails. You got a tour? It's almost sunset. I'm at my other location. What else did they say about AI that I can relate to you? That they're going to have to give us money. They're going to make electricity free first. That's what they're talking about. First, they'll pay our electric bills. They'll pay our utility bills so that the data centers can exist. Software companies are crashing. Software companies like Salesforce, maybe Shopify, maybe CRM. Software companies are being replaced by AI because AI now can just write the software. So those are crashing right now. Eventually, Oracle is probably going to go out of business. The AI bubble will pop. But that doesn't mean they won't keep making AI. The government sees AI as a national security risk, so they probably will bail it out to some extent. I don't know if they'll bail out OpenAI, though. Glad you like the stream, Parker. All right, I guess that's all for you guys. Hopefully it was educational. And I'll see you tomorrow back in the real location. All right. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the comments. Hopefully we answered some questions today. And we'll see you at the next one. All right, for now. Oh, if you want to contribute to the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil or buy our t-shirts at truthclothing.io. And Be More Busker, one of our biggest fans, has MS and is going through some stuff financially. We posted his GoFundMe or GiveSendGo link on yesterday's show. So send him $5 or something if you can. He's been a fan of the show for a long time. All right, and that's it. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Good to see you, and we'll see you at the next one. For now, that's what it is.